Hello everybody, welcome our class Lesson 8 Introduction to SQL. Objective of our class, we're going to learn how to connect to the database. We're going to learn how to select basic select of information, select columns. We're going to learn how to order, do some basic filtering. We're going to import our data into Power BI. I will provide you with a file called readme.txt. So when you open the readme.txt, you will see information how to connect to the database. You'll see the host, database, user, and the password. We're going to use this information to connect to our database. We're going to use a software called dbeaver. So go to Microsoft Store and search for it, dbeaver CE, and click Get It. This will install the software we're going to use to explore a database. dbeaver allows you to connect to multiple different type of databases. And we're going to use a database called PostgreSQL, which is one of the most widely used open source databases. So to connect to the database, we're going to need the information that I provided in the file. So we're going to, in the database navigator, you're going to right click, create a connection. And here you're going to pick which database we're going to connect to. In our case, it will be PostgreSQL. Then you copy the host name from the file I gave you. Then you're going to pick the database, which in our case will be DVD rental. The username will be student, and the password would be, just copy password, class 2024, %24. Click finish. Then the database connection is created. And you can scroll down to schema, drill down, public, and tables. This is list of tables. We're going to talk about what tables are shortly. We're going to talk a lot about tables in this class, but think about each table as a worksheet in Excel. In fact, we're going to right now take data from this table and export it into Excel. So what can we do? We're going to, so we pick one of the tables, let's say customer, and you can see list of columns that this table has. Customer ID, store, first name, last name, email, so on and so forth. I'm going to click on SQL. This creates us our first SQL script. And what we're going to do is say select star from, and you can drag and drop customer and click run. So what you will see is the data, all the data from this table customers. It looks a lot right now as looks a lot like an Excel spreadsheet, Excel worksheet. You can right click on this grid and Click Export Data, say CSV, next, single query, fetch, size. Okay, we don't have 10,000, so I guess maximum 10,000 records. Next, and you can just click next. Here you pick which directory you want to put the file out, and it will export as table_timestamp. You can just put your file name and proceed. So now our data is exported, and I can see CSV file here in my local directory. So just like what we did in other previous classes, we can create Excel file, DVD rental, and we can use Power Query to get the data. Get data from CSV. I'm going to pick the file, transform data. And we can see the data being imported just like we did in our previous classes using Power Query. You may have ability to import data directly from PostgreSQL. In Excel, I don't, but we will also do it in Power BI, connecting directly to PostgreSQL. So we have our first SQL statement, says select star from customer, which really means select all columns from table customer. It would be better if they would say select from table customer, select all columns. But for historical reason, we say select first and then from. So, but when you read the SQL statement, you should read it the other way around. From table customer, select all columns. You can specify which columns you actually want. For example, customer ID, comma, first name, comma, last name. Here you say, I don't need all the columns, I just need these three, and I need them in this order. First customer ID, then first name, then last name. Okay. So if you want to change the order of columns, we just change the order we are selecting them from. Now we select customer ID, last name, first name. What we can also do is we can combine the columns into multiple columns into one column. For example, I want to instead of returning two separate columns, first name, last name, I want to combine them into one name called full name and just have last name space first name. So to do that, I will put a special operator which is concatenate. So basically what it says is take these two columns, combine them into one, and put space in between. So if I run this, you'll see that now I have, instead of three columns, two columns, but I did not specify how to the name of this column. So for that, we're going to put what we call alias. We say as full name. And this will give us a new column that does not exist in the database. We can also use alias, let's say, to rename customer ID to ID. So basically, as is called alias, and it changes the name of the column. So we have a list of customers. And now I'm going to add another statement to our SQL, where first name in Jamie, Jesse, Cassie, Kelly, Leslie, and Marion. Basically, I'm saying instead of giving me all the records, just filter it by names, first name and last name, right? Just filter it by name. This would be equivalent of going to my Excel file and pull the first name and just say, let's say Jamie and Jamie and Jesse. Okay, so this will be equivalent to the filter in my Excel file. We're going to talk a lot more about filtering. What I want to also, so I'm going to run this, and now of all the records, I only get subset of records. And what we're going to do is we're going to order these records by first name. So I'm going to add order by first name, and you will see that it's actually ordering by ascending, J, K, L, M, right? So we have ordered by first name, but last name is not ordered by anything, or ID is not ordered. It's only the first name ordering, right? So basically, just like what we would do in Excel, when we click order by one column, we order by first name. But if we want to, so now we create groups of different records based on their first name, but we want inside each group, we want to also filter by last name. So we're going to do order by first name, last name. So first order by first name, then order by last name. And now you see that here we have Jamie 1 and Jamie Rice. But when I run it again, it will be Jamie Rice and Jamie Wong. So we basically do filter by multiple columns. First we filter by the first column, then by second. We can also specify how do we want to sort, in ascending or descending order. If we don't say anything, it's ascending. But if we say descending, it will now filter order by first name, but in descending order. So if I would remove this where clause, just say order by first name, descending. Then you will see that we're ordering Zachary. So basically it's going from Z to A instead of A to Z. If we remove descending, defaults to ascending. We have Aaron, Adam, and so on and so forth. So we can say descending for first name, and last name also descending. But to see the result of it, we need to see records where we have multiple first names. So that's why we need to filter it back. So we're not going to look for all the records because it'll be hard to find. We're going to say, look at show me only records of Jamie, Jesse, Katie, Leslie, and Marion. And I looked ahead, and I know that I found that this first names have multiple records in the table. So. Okay, so now you can see that our first names are in descending order. Yes, you can see that first names are descending, M, L, K, J. Yeah, right. So basically descending. So as last name. So for example, Jamie is last of records, and then we have Jamie Wong ahead of Jamie Rice. So we can say, okay, last name can be actually ascending. So now we have Jamie Rice instead of ahead of Jamie Wong. So for each column, we can specify if it's going ascending or descending. So if we just select first name from customer, we can scroll down and see 509 customers, 599 first names. If we add the word distinct, it will basically remove duplicates. So 591 distinct names. So if we have a record with the same name, now we're going to return only unique list of names. If we specify 2 columns, we're going to get distinct combination of first name and last name. Distinct actually help us to find unique values. So let's say I have this table called film, and I can actually, I see that I have like rental duration, which is categorical variables. Basically, it's a different, it's repeating a lot. 7, 5, 6. So I can just say distinct rental duration. It shows me that I only have 5 values for rental duration. And I can also order by rental duration. So I can see I have 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now we're going to learn how to import data directly from Power BI from PostgreSQL to Power BI. So we're going to create a blank report to File, Save As, Browse, and let's call it DVD rental report. We're going to do get data, and we'll we'll click More, Database, and we pick PostgreSQL database. Connect. Now it will ask us the same information when we connect it to PostgreSQL, our server and a database. And in advanced options, it actually has which SQL statement we want to import from. So if we want to go from customer, so we just first build our SQL statement, make sure it works, and for now we will only just want to import these 3 columns. So we're going to pick our SQL statement, copy paste it right here. Let's not include any relationships. And now click OK. So as you can see, Power BI picked it up. Click Transform the data. We get our Power Query. See the records. Close and apply. And we can see our data is in Power BI. Throughout the course, we're going to learn more about SQL, and we'll also learn how we integrate and build the schema in Power BI. So we will basically do end-to-end analysis from SQL all the way to Power BI.